Hey, it's Michaela here, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you about how powerful it is when you have an understanding of the way your mind's automatic response mechanism works, and how the Alpha Influence program can help you get through things that might be really major blocks for you. Now, what I wanted to share with you is a story of my own and how I actually got through that block. I sit a recertification exam every year, and for whatever reason I had this illusion going on in my mind that there was a possibility that I could fail this exam. Now, just to give the story a little more power, I'd say over 90% of the time I used to get 100% on this exam. So the process that I used to put myself in the build-up to sitting this exam was honestly the best definition I can give it is insanity. I used to wind myself into this ball of anxiety, like really stressed out. I would detach socially for a couple of weeks prior to the exam. In the week coming up to the exam, I wouldn't really want to speak to anyone on the phone. It was like I would lock myself in this prison. And in the days getting really close to the exam, I would often be so wound up with stress and anxiety that I would just feel like I was going to collapse from the exhaustion of the stress that I put myself through. Now, I had tried hypnotherapists, NLP, all kinds of different therapies, seen all kinds of different practitioners trying to help me get through this block, because it was like this prison that I was living in of thinking that I could possibly fail. So as fate would have it, when I just completed week 8, which was the final week of the Alpha Influence program, the following week I was due to sit this exam. And I sat down for a moment and thought, okay, you have all of these new skills and tools now, so how are you going to apply that so that you can do things differently and not end up in that really messy state that you would end up in, prior to the big day arriving? And all of a sudden, I don't know how it happened, but I woke up one morning and it was like, boom, I just got it. I was thinking about how your mind, when it needs a tool to help you get through a hurdle, and if you're in fight or flight, which was pretty much the state that I'd been in the build up to this day, it doesn't define between positive and negative. So it's going to bring up for you whatever worked in the past. So my mind is thinking, okay, Michaela needs to pass the exam. What's worked in the past is she goes into this massive amount of stress and anxiety, we bring all that up, and then the end result is I achieve success. I pass the exam. And it was like, the moment I understood the process, I thought, this is ridiculous. It is so simple, it's not funny. My mind is bringing up the tools, which are stress and anxiety, to give me the end result, which is pass. So I realised that all as I needed to do to remove this block was to break that pattern. So I basically told my own mind that stress and anxiety doesn't work for me anymore. They may have been tools that you brought up for me in the past, but they ain't going to work. And so I basically set about changing every single pattern I had that surrounded that exam that I'd been using in previous years. For example, I used to burn certain essential oils like rosemary and basil, to help with concentration and memory. The fact that I would sort of lock myself inside and not socialise, I did the opposite to everything that I'd always done before. And what was amazing was, normally by the day before, that was it. For 12 hours I would lock myself inside. I just did not want to see the world, did not want to speak to anyone. I was just, comfortable in my own stress, and I just wanted to get through the following day, because this particular recertification exam would go on all day. Anyway, so the day before the exam arrives, I decided to go out and have a really nice leisurely lunch. And while I'm sitting there, my phone rings and one of my close friends called me up, and I'm feeling completely relaxed. I feel like the exam doesn't even exist. And he says, how are you going? And I said, oh, I'm just really happy. I don't know what it is, but I just feel really happy at the moment. And he said, oh, so you just finished your exam, right? And I said, no, actually it's tomorrow. And he was like, he was basically just in shock, because anyone that was close to me knew what I'd been like, prior to doing the Alpha Influence program. What's really interesting though is I had, about a year ago, when I was going through this exam, I had two instructors that I can only describe as Nazis. Like, they were a nasty piece of work. They were really, really intimidating, and I had made a decision that if I ever saw them again, I was just going to get up and walk out and request a different day. So the morning arrives, lo and behold, in they walk, the same instructors. And I just sat there and thought, well, this is just another hurdle that you need to get through. It's okay, you've got all the tools, you're relaxed. I just breathed. And the end result was, after years and years and years of stress and anxiety over this, the day was a cinch. I didn't have any stress in the build up to it. Yeah, I was exhausted because just maintaining presence and being focused and being really aware of what my body was doing and everything, you know, was quite exhausting. But I broke free of it. It was a massive, massive block for me, and you know, something that was causing me a lot of stress, and it doesn't exist anymore, and it was an illusion all along after all. So if you've got something in your life that you feel that you can't get a handle on, and you know, you're feeling like you've tried everything, believe me, I tried everything with trying to remove this block. Alpha influence is like nothing that you've ever seen out there. It's not like any practitioner you could see one-on-one. This is stuff that really has the ability to change the course of your life. So I hope that if you've got a block, of course that's just one aspect of the program, but I really hope that you'll have a look at this program. I appreciate you watching through to the end. That didn't stop. Oops.